You know, in the world of live television, things can change on a dime. But every once in a while, a piece of news drops that just stops everyone in their tracks. And that is exactly what happened this week, with a bombshell announcement from Saturday Night Live, and it's all about one of their absolute biggest stars.
So this news just explodes online and immediately sends these huge ripples through the entertainment world. You had fans, critics, industry insiders. Everyone was kind of left scratching their heads and asking the same exact question: what just happened?
And the news itself? It was stunningly direct. Bowen Yang, who is without a doubt one of SNL's most celebrated and vital stars, is leaving the show. But here's the kicker. This isn't some planned end-of-season goodbye. Nope, he's leaving right now.
Okay, so let's get into the details here. We're going to break down the official facts of this surprise announcement and really get the timeline straight on his final appearance in Studio 8H. Just look at this timeline for a second. The news breaks on December 19th that his final episode is literally the next day. We're talking about the huge Christmas show, with his wicked co-star Ariana Grande hosting no less. This isn't a victory lap, it's not a planned goodbye. It is an abrupt mid-season exit that gave everyone, the cast, the crew, and all of us watching less than 24 hours to process.
Right, so it's the timing that makes this whole thing so puzzling. And to really understand why everyone was so shocked, we have to rewind just a couple of months. Because what he was saying back then makes this feel like a complete 180. Which, of course, leads us to the one question that is on everybody's mind: what could have possibly changed so drastically, so quickly? So get this. Just this past September, Bowen Yang himself confirmed he was staying. He even quoted Lorne Michaels saying, "You have more to do, I need you." And Yang said he felt like he had to honor that. But then you fast forward just 3 short months, and it's over, announced on Instagram. I mean, the whiplash from "Lorne needs me" to an immediate exit is what makes this whole situation just so baffling. So you might be wondering, is leaving mid-season even a normal thing to do? And the short answer is, not really. It's super atypical, but it's not totally unheard of. I mean, some of the biggest names in the show's history, we're talking Eddie Murphy, Dana Carvey, they also left before a season was over. It's a really rare move that usually means a huge career leap is happening. Or, you know, in Norm Macdonald's case, you got fired. Now, to really grasp the weight of Bowen's departure, we've got to zoom out a little bit, because this isn't happening in a vacuum. It's actually the latest and maybe the most significant piece of a much larger story, what feels like a great cast exodus at SNL. Before season 51 even kicked off, the show was already going through a massive shakeup. 6 other cast members had left, from veterans like Ego Nwodim and Heidi Gardner to the breakup of the Please Don't Destroy trio. So the foundation was already shaking, right? Bowen Yang's sudden exit now feels like a giant exclamation point on a season of seismic change. Okay, so let's talk about the legacy that he's leaving behind. Because Bowen Yang wasn't just another talented performer in a long line of them. His presence on that stage was genuinely groundbreaking.
I mean, his rise at SNL was absolutely meteoric. He was hired as a writer in 2018, but just 1 year later, boom, he's in front of the camera. By 2021, he was a full repertory player. In a place that's known for its really tough, years-long proving grounds, his ascent was just incredibly fast, and honestly, completely deserved.
And his impact? It was recognized immediately. He earned 4 Emmy nominations for his acting on the show. And get this, he literally made history as the very first featured player ever to be nominated in the supporting actor category. That just proved who's a total standout from the second he hit that stage.
His farewell post on Instagram really gets to the heart of his whole experience. He talked about how tough the world felt during his time on the show, but he pointed to the people at 30 Rock as the reason it was all, in his words, worthwhile. It was just a really classy and heartfelt goodbye.
So, with his SNL chapter now closed, what is next for Bowen Yang? Well, one thing's for sure. This is definitely not a retreat from the spotlight. It's more like a pivot towards an already packed and super promising future.
I mean, his schedule is already completely packed. You've got his hugely popular podcast, Las Culturistas, a major role in the massive 2-part Wicked movie event. His star is just clearly on the rise. Leaving the incredibly demanding weekly schedule of SNL almost seems like a logical next step to fully embrace these other huge opportunities. And that kind of brings us to our final thought here. Bowen Yang's exit leaves this massive void right at the center of Saturday Night Live. A comedy void, for sure, but also a void of representation and a truly unique voice. So the question isn't just what's next for Bowen, but as SNL tries to rebuild, who, if anyone, can possibly fill a space that